we're good to go. People will hop on and they'll be here maybe a couple minutes late. But we are so pumped to kick off the year with you. This is an additional team call for us, an extra guest speaker that we like to throw in. We did kind of our announcements and everything at the beginning of the month, so we're excited to have you here. One of the things that I know that with this business, it's all about relationships and building connections, which involves emotions. So your topic tonight is going to be key, especially from that mindset, personal development aspect that is key to this business and us as coaches. So thank you so much for being here tonight, and we're looking forward to hearing from you.
Awesome. Can you guys hear me? Give me a big thumbs up if you can hear me. Is that coming through? Awesome. And if you guys that are not on video, if you can come on video, I always do way better when I see people's faces, the reactions. Come on the video. I don't bite. We're all hanging out. And thank you guys so much for being here. Welcome to the Unstuck Formula. My name is Brad. I'm a mindset coach, inspirational speaker, creator of Appreciation Academy. And my mission is to teach business owners that happiness comes first. That's really simple, right? Happiness comes first. You're going to see it throughout this presentation. This is where you're going to learn the 3 skills you need if you're sick of doing the same things, getting the same results, sucking the joy out of your business. You ever feel that way? Like, I've felt that before. So give yourself this gift. Be here, be present, turn the distractions off. We're not sending messages when we're doing this. We're not posting on Insta stories when we're doing this. We're taking notes and we're learning because you deserve to be here. You're in the right place if you're building a business and you want more success and it seems like that growth is out of your grasp, or maybe you're reading the PD books, but it feels like it's not working for you and you slip back into old beliefs, or maybe you're already successful, but you're just not fulfilled. Or maybe you want freedom from debt, from money worries, all that stuff, instead of free falling through this black hole of negativity and blame and guilt that we all face sometimes. So how many of you guys feel like something along those lines could benefit you in some way, shape, or form? Type yes in the chat box if that's you. And if that is you, strap in because you are in for a treat. I do not take your time for granted, by the way. You cannot get this time back. You have fought for so long and you deserve a breakthrough, because guess what? It is so much simpler than you probably think. So much simpler. Because guess what? Want to know a secret? You're not missing a business strategy. One of the biggest mistakes I ever made was thinking that I needed a different business strategy. Like, you have the training on how to invite and how to do Instagram stories and how to sell. You have all that training. Those things are important. But if you've been spinning your wheels and the strategies aren't working for you, or if you can't get yourself to do the strategies, but also if you're doing them and they're not working for you and they're working for other people, it's not the strategy that's the problem. It's the way that you're thinking. So be present here with me tonight. Be present. And if you stick around with me until the end, I'm going to gift you guys a workshop called Shattering the 5 Entrepreneurial Fears. Stress, overwhelm, procrastination, perfection, fear of rejection. How many of you guys feel that on a regular basis? I'm going to show you guys how you can get that. It's powerful, absolutely free for you guys at the end of this. So what are we going to learn here? Really simple. I'm going to give you my Unstuck formula. It's 3 steps. I'm going to tell you what they are, and then we'll dive right into my story and then the content. The first step is to resolve your inner conflict. Past trauma, past hurts, past failures, making them gifts. The second step is shattering your limiting beliefs, because you need to believe that you're worthy of success before success is ever going to happen. And then finally is what I call closing the gap. And really what that means is getting out of your own way. All that stuff we're going to pack together so you can have success way sooner than I ever did. And I want to share my story with you so you can see where I came from. Growing up, I had an emotional roller coaster of a childhood, guys. It gave me really messed up beliefs about how life is. And I'm curious, type yes if you can relate to the topic of money stress, whether past or present. My parents growing up would scream and fight and yell about money all the time. Dad worked 90, 100-hour weeks to barely get by, always too much money at the end of the money. It tore their relationship apart. I was in a tough spot. And when you translate that to my adult life and I started a business, like, I wanted to sprint 100 miles an hour one direction. But money is bad and hard to make. Do you see how that might hold me back a little bit? If more money is freedom, but more money is also stressful, that'll hold you back. And on top of the money, I had a really tough relationship with my mom. I was really angry and I was sad growing up, but type yes if you have someone in your life, past or present, where you don't know who you need to be to feel worthy of their love. It's like you're walking on eggshells around them and you feel guilty or manipulated. And it's almost like you miss this piece of your childhood that you wanted so badly. And that's where I was. And I crave validation. I remember feeling like I was never enough growing up. So you can imagine when I started a business and I wanted to serve all these people, but I'm not enough. Do you see how that might help, like, hold me back in some ways? How many of you guys feel that way? Like, you want to help all these people, but you're not enough to make it happen. And into my adult life, what happened was it led to me always craving validation. It led to me feeling empty inside, chasing a dream when deep down I never knew if I'd get there. Like, I asked the questions, would I ever be able to go to Italy or retire my wife or get out of $92,000 of student loan debt? That's what I had. And there I was, barely scraping by, too much monthly end of the money, mediocre, stuck, and I was just struggling. And I don't know about you, but one of my biggest insecurities in life is not being able to provide for those that I love the most. Have you ever wanted to contribute so much more to your family so freaking bad, but no matter how hard you try, you can't make it happen? That's where I was, because your business is about more than just you. It's about your family, the people you love. And when you aren't fulfilling that mission, it's like you're denying them a gift that you know you can give them, and it hurts. And it's not be fine tomorrow hurts after watching Friends all night long. It hurts when you look in the mirror. It hurts when you wake up because you never know if you're going to be enough to make it happen. And I asked the painful question, will I ever be truly happy? And it created so much pain within me that I needed to learn how to master my mindset. I needed to learn just how to get this mediocrity mode off. And so I know how it feels, guys. I know how it feels to play the negativity soundtrack on a loop in your head. It's constant start and stop again. And I know this because for almost 5 years, I'd tell people what I wanted, but I parked my ass on the couch and drowned my frustration in a plate of microwave nachos and watching Breaking Bad 4 days in a row. And then how many of you guys have ever had the beautiful experience of being in a depressed state and then being pissed off at yourself that you're depressed? Anyone ever felt that way? And then you see your laptop staring at you, right? And it's staring at you going, dude, change your life. You have all the freaking tools you need, but you just don't care even though you care so much. Type yes if you know that feeling rather well. That was where I was. And my business wasn't going anywhere. Paychecks never had the numbers I wanted on them. Too much monthly end of the money. I was stuck. That's just the word to sum up my past, stuck. And then a beautiful gift happened for me. My bank account overdrafted again. Again, I say again because it happened all the time. And I remember just something clicked within me. It was when I was trying to change my life and get out of debt, but it wasn't happening, and it clicked within me. And I got so pissed off. I took a screenshot, and at that same time, I was seeing all these people that had what I wanted, saying, if you ever want to change your life, you must invest in yourself before it's comfortable to do so. How many of you guys have ever heard the phrase, if you can't afford Summit, that's why you need to go to Summit? Anyone ever heard that? Like, that's why. People that have success will tell you that. People that are not successful will tell you to protect that and don't spend that money. And so I was looking at it, I was like, they don't have what I want. They're telling me that this is stupid. And all the people that have what I want are saying, invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself before it's ever comfortable to do it. And I did it. I maxed out the last credit card I had. I figured, I'm already 92 grand in debt. What's 6 more, right? Like, and I got myself a coach, a seminar, and a course. And I had to figure out what the hell was going on with me because I knew I needed to figure out how to show up with confidence and clarity and most importantly, happiness. Because write this in your notes. You cannot change your life from the mindset that created your current life. You need a new mindset, a different way of thinking. I knew if I ever wanted to change my life, I had to seek that out. And I spent years doing it. And then I had my aha moment that changed everything. And this is where I can start to add value to you today. One day I was on the phone with my life coach that I maxed out my credit card to get. And I was telling her about how I'm doing the stuff. I'm reading the books. I'm spending time and trying to make my business grow. And I'm focused on it all the time. Why isn't this working? And she said something so simple and so profound it changed my whole life. She said, Brad, business success and money are never going to make you happy. Happiness creates those things. Until you learn to be happy with where you are in your life right now, you're never going to have your goals. And she changed my whole life. From that moment forward, I became obsessed with that one simple thought. Business, success, and money don't create happiness unless you're already happy. Happiness creates those things. I became obsessed with it. It's what I mastered. And appreciation is what I mastered because, guys, put this in your notes. Appreciation is the master skill to business. When you can appreciate where you are in your life right now, all of a sudden you get the lesson to move you forward. So from prioritizing this in my life, from prioritizing my own personal growth over my business, guess what happened to my business? It exploded. But it's only when I started practicing these 3 things we're going to talk about tonight that everything changed. And I look back at my life a couple of years ago, and I asked myself those questions. Would we ever be able to go to Italy, retire my wife, 92 grand in debt? We did that in 2 years. 2 years. It changed everything. It happened for me. And I don't share that to impress you. It doesn't matter if you're impressed by me. I share it because if it happened for me, it can happen for you. You can have whatever your version of that is. It's right there. You just got to take that. Because this hasn't just affected me, it's affected thousands and thousands of my listeners all over the world. And that's what I'd like to share with you tonight. So if you're ready, type I'm ready, and let's dive in as I get a sip of my gallon of distilled water because I'm doing your ultimate reset right now. Down 14 pounds, by the way. It's amazing. The program is fantastic. Everyone should do that. Anyways, step one, resolve your inner conflict. This is about taking the secret inner conflicts that you didn't even realize were there, letting go of the past hurts, and changing what it means to you. And this is critical because, write this down, inner conflict is the killer of most businesses. If you grow up thinking that you're not enough, do you think that translates to how you post and how you invite? Massively, massively. You must, and I mean must, start seeing your past as a great thing no matter how painful. Because please hear me loud and clear. Whatever you've been through in your life, whether trauma, assault, sexual or physical, if you went to jail, if you were addicted to alcohol or drugs, if you had a parent that yelled at you, if you failed in business last year, all of it, it doesn't matter. It's important, but it doesn't dictate your future. Because write this down, the past only becomes the future if you live there. And you break through this by changing what the past means to you, because your life is made up of two things. It's made up of one, events, and two, the meaning you give to each event. That's it. So let me give you an example. Let's say that I'm hanging out with Michelle and we're walking into Jamba Juice because I wanted Jamba Juice on the Ultimate Reset. So we're walking into Jamba Juice and I decided to open the door for Michelle and she's so grateful, so happy, so thankful. Why? Is it because I opened the door or is it because of her interpretation of what that gesture means? It's the meaning behind it. Because I could open the door for her and she's all pissed off thinking, I get it myself, you chauvinistic asshole, right? She would never do that because she's an amazing person, right? But did the event ever change? No. I still opened the door. She just had a different meaning. So look at the biggest, most painful event of your whole life. Positive talk, Brad. Is it mommy issues? Is it daddy issues? Is it failure in business? Is it something traumatic that happened? Is it money challenges? What baggage are you giving a disempowering meaning to without realizing it? And there's something there. There's someone or something that you blame, or maybe it's missing success level. It doesn't need to be a big traumatic thing. It can be something small. But you have to find a meaning that empowers you to act. Because write this down, life changes the moment you put intentionality behind the meaning of everything. If you intentionally choose a meaning that leads to a better life, you win life. I changed what my mommy issues meant to me. Whatever you're facing, you got to change what they mean to you too. There's something there that's a blessing. How many of you guys are better parents because you didn't like the way that your parents parented you? Or how many guys are more loving to your spouse because you didn't like the way that your parents had their relationship? I'm just making stuff up, right? But whatever you're facing, there's something beautiful there, even if it's painful. And we latch onto those stories because it feels good to have a way out of changing our life. We don't allow ourselves to feel pain and we live in fear. And that's not a fun place to be. There's something beautiful because of that pain. Let me give you an extreme example and then a simple example. Every year, I take on about 10 or so one-on-one clients, okay? And it's a large investment. We work on them all year long. And we went through this process of changing the meaning of what the situation was. And this woman, she was sexually assaulted by multiple men in her family when she was a little girl. Self-confidence destroyed. And you want to know what the meaning was that she gave that? I'm worth nothing. How do you think that meaning panned out in her life? No relationship, money was challenged, couldn't trust men, couldn't trust people, just couldn't, everything was going down. Everything was going down. And from flipping the meaning, which is a process I'll give you an opportunity to learn later, from flipping the meaning, you know what she said? She said, it made me extremely strong in a way I know I can survive anything. It gave me powerful intuition and awareness of the intentions of people I surround myself with. And it gives me so much love and compassion for other women who have been through the same thing. I'm going to dedicate my life to serving them so they can break through that pain way faster than I ever did. Wow. I'm worth nothing. And now that's the meaning. So do you think your life changed? Type in the chat box. Did her life change a little or massively? A little or massively? What do you think? And guess what, guys? Obviously, it's massively, right? But guess what? The sexual assault when she was a little girl from those two men in her family still happened. It still happened. She just changed the meaning. So you don't control what happened. You can't go back and change it, but you do control what it means to you. So look at my story. I didn't even tell you guys this, but my grandmother saved up $40,000 for me to go to college. And when I got to college, it was stolen. My parents used it to pay for the mortgage and pay for groceries and different things. And I already had to take out some student loans, so it put me almost 6 figures in debt. If that didn't happen, There's no way I would have been hungry for freedom. If my parents didn't scream and yell and eventually get divorced, I wouldn't be nearly as loving of a husband as I am to her. If love wasn't used as a weapon against me growing up, I wouldn't have so much empathy where I could see through what someone's going through and actually pierce the situation that's actually stopping them, not the top level BS. If my business didn't fail, I wouldn't have learned what I needed to learn to create freedom in my life. So take an analysis, that painful thing in your life, whatever it is, or multiple things, what if it was the best thing that ever happened to you? Because it created you. What did it create that's amazing? Because, write this in your notes. What's wrong is always available to you, but so is what's right. Did it hurt? Yeah. Is it still painful? Probably, but it wasn't wrong, because if that person played a different role, if that person or situation went the way you wanted it to go, you wouldn't be here right now on this journey. They played the role they were meant to play. You got to change how you respond to it. And when you do this and you change the meaning, you can change your future instead of being stuck in the past, because life will continue to teach you the lessons you need to learn to live the life that you're meant to live. And we can't teach you how to do this in a 1-hour webinar, but we can start the process by bringing awareness to it. Because your life will get better when you adopt a new meaning to your pain. The next year doesn't need to be the same as the last year, because write this down, biography is not destiny. And when you switch this, you'll find abundance. You gotta rewrite the narrative of your life story. It doesn't matter how much life has rained on your parade. You gotta change it. Because what if the worst days of your life were secretly the best days of your life in disguise? What if your trauma or pain has the gift inside of it to lead you to emotional freedom? And what if you adopt a belief tonight that life's always happening for you and not to you? What if that's your new belief? And guys, this doesn't need to be a big traumatic thing. It can literally be as small as missing success club, right? But when you switch this, not just consciously, because if you say, yeah, I know I need to switch that, that means you don't know. Anytime I know your way out of something, it means you don't know. Right? So if you actually feel this in your heart, you'll never go back, because you feel so much more free. And when you're more free, does business get easier or harder? Way easier. So you got to start to see your past and multiple parts of your past as a beautiful thing, no matter how painful. And think about the consequences of not doing that or from dabbling in that. What's happened? Has it held you back from really going for it? Or do you have do you blame that something's not your fault? Or do you blame an event for your lack of confidence or lack of trust or your fears? And what will life look like if you keep that up? So step one, first and foremost, if you ever want to get unstuck, you have to learn how to resolve your inner conflicts. Not only come to terms with your past and forgive when you don't want to, but take it a step further and actually be genuinely grateful that it happened. And when you do, everything will change. And if you don't, you will continue to be stuck. So that's step number one, resolve your inner conflicts. Type yes if you think you can use this in your life and or your business. Let's move on to step number two, shatter your limiting beliefs. Every single person on this call in the world have limiting beliefs. And if you don't believe you have limiting beliefs, that is a limiting belief. So start there, right? You have to learn how to shatter these if you want to get unstuck. So in step one, we started to identify where some of these limiting beliefs might come from. And once you identify what those are, you can start to change them, because when you take a step back and just visualize the voices in your head objectively, you realize that the voice in your head is crazy, and if it were a person, you wouldn't hang out with them. So if you take an objective approach and you view them as a different person, you start to see what those limiting beliefs are. So that's the first part of shattering limiting beliefs. Part one is to identify your limiting beliefs. That's the first part of shattering them. And it's so important to note this, because write this in your notes. Whatever you repeat to yourself consistently, you'll believe, whether it's BS or not. Whatever you repeat to yourself consistently, you will believe, whether it's BS or not. So if you say something negative enough times, you'll believe it, and it changes everything. Seriously, type in the chat box right now. What's something about your business that you say that's negative on a regular basis? What's something that's negative about your business that you say on a regular basis? Type that in. And as you're typing this in, look at it. From typing that in, I'm going to teach you the negative cycle, or the vicious cycle of negative self-talk. From repeating, I'll never make Star Diamond, or from repeating whatever you guys are typing in next. Thank you, Diana. I appreciate your vulnerability. From sharing this, and I'm not good at invites. Great, Amber. Thank you. From sharing this, guys, this is the negative cycle. From that limiting belief, does that lower the potential you tap into? Yes, massively. And from lower potential, do you take more or less action? Less action. And from less action, do you get more or less results? Less results. And from less results, what happens to your belief? Does it get stronger and bigger or weaker and smaller? Stronger and bigger. And then what happens is potential, action, results, belief, potential, action, results, belief. That's a downward cycle of negative self-talk. We have to switch this. You have to believe that you're enough before the evidence of your business ever says that you're enough. How do you do that when your results aren't showing it? Really, really simple, which moves to part 2 of shattering your limiting beliefs, which is link so much pain to the belief that you have to change it. Guys, we need to start taking what's unconscious and making it conscious. So for example, everything we do in life is driven by our need to avoid pain or to gain pleasure. Everything. If you procrastinate, it literally just means that you think taking action would be more painful than doing nothing. And you receive less pain by doing nothing. That's procrastination. That's what it is. So what we often do is we just are unconscious of this. So if we bring awareness to pain and use it as an ally instead of something to avoid, we can change our limiting beliefs. So what I mean by that is thinking in terms of consequences. I'll never make Star Diamond. I'm not good at invites. I struggle with the invite. It takes me longer to build the team that I want, right? Those limiting beliefs. If you start to ask yourself, what's the consequence of that belief? You're going to realize, holy shit, I should probably change this. I'll teach you how in just a second. But when you link pain to it, you say, what's this costing me physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, and go on a tangent, write it all down. Don't think this in your head, but write it. When you write it, it becomes real. And what's it costing me in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? What's that going to cost me if I keep this belief up? You guys ever seen A Christmas Carol or A Christmas Story with Ebenezer Scrooge, right? And he's like, total dick, right? Like one day. And then the next day, he's like the nicest guy in the world. Why? Because, I learned this from Tony Robbins, because 3 neuroassociative conditioning specialists show up at his house. And what I mean by that is the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future, right? And what do? They link so much unbearable pain to the way that he lived in the past, the way that he's living now, and the way that he's going to keep living if he keeps it up, that he has to move forward and change. And he changed his whole life. You can do the same thing with your limiting beliefs. Yeah, and I'll teach you how to do that. I have an entire workshop on this. It's so powerful, but this is so important. So the final step of shattering your limiting beliefs, number 3, and part 3 is to change your questions. Because once you link pain to the limiting belief, it's like you have a record that's playing. And when you link pain to it, it's like you take a knife across that record and you scratch to where it can't play again. So it opens it up to where you're going to want to take that record off and put a new record on that record player. Okay? So step 3 is to change your questions. And what I mean by that is when you replace the questions in your mind, all of a sudden you start believing new things because your life is a reflection of the habitual questions you ask yourself. Have you ever wondered why affirmations don't work? That might be hard to hear. You ever notice they don't work, right? You're sitting there and you're going, I'm completely debt-free, earning $500,000 in my business this year. And your brain goes, no, you're not, right? You ever had that wonderful experience with affirmations? Why does that happen? Because there's no emotional intensity linked to the affirmation. If you ever want an affirmation to work, it needs to turn into an incantation, which is basically screaming it so much that you feel it in your nervous system. Until there's emotional intensity linked to something, you will not change. Your brain will roll its eyes at you. So let me give you an example to prove this true. Type in the chat box, where were you on 9/11? Where were you on 9/11? What do we got? What do we got? I'm assuming high school, college, grade school, 6th grade classroom, great. Like wherever you were, amazing. I was in 7th grade. And so great, the hub at Penn State, nice, fantastic. So sophomore at Penn State, great. So all these, you were at these places, right? But question, where were you on 8/11/2001? No idea. Unless it's your birthday, you have no idea, right? You have no freaking clue. Why? Because there's no emotional intensity linked to that date. Emotional intensity is everything. And so since you're at work, I'm assuming you can't stand up and scream, I'm completely debt-free, earning $500,000 in my business this year. You can't stand up and scream it. Instead, what if you turned it into a question? Because your brain, when you do this and you say, instead, how can I become completely debt-free this year? What does your brain do? It doesn't question you. It looks for an answer. That's the power of questions. Your answer lies in a question. So if you've ever done a vision board or a goal setting exercise and you have that voice in your head that says you're never going to achieve it, it's because most of us don't actually believe we're going to achieve our goals. So if we want to change it, we have to change the direction of our questions. Let me give you an example to show you what I mean. Look around the room you're in right now and count up the number of things you can find that are red. Ready, go. Count the things that are red. Look for red, 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 look for red. Count the things that are red, look for red, look for red, look for red, look for red. Keep looking for red, look for red, look for red. Awesome. Type in the chat box. How many things did you find that were red? What do we got? We got 7, 6. Amazing. You guys all passed the flying colors. But question, how many things did you find that were blue? No idea. Why? Because you weren't looking for blue. But check this out. Look around the room you're in right now in a group of Beachbody coaches. I'm assuming there's some Beachbody blue laying around. Look around the room for all that Beachbody blue. Ready, go. Look for blue, look for blue, look for blue, look for blue, look for blue. Keep looking for blue. Look for blue, 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 look for blue. Holy cow, where'd it come from? Type in the chat box, how many more things do you find that were blue? And how many of you even saw teal or green and pretended it was blue so you would feel successful at this exercise, right? So what does this prove? When you look for red, you don't see blue. And when you look for blue, you don't see red. This is why when you are in the market for a car, all of a sudden you see that car everywhere. There's a piece of your brain called the reticular activating system. Its job is to fizzle out all the shit you could be looking for and to focus on only what you deem is important. Well, what's red and what's blue when it comes to business? Red is doubt, skepticism, pain, your limiting beliefs, all the things holding you back. What's blue? Your dreams. Success Club 10, hitting elite, 6-figure income, all the things that you want out of life. That's blue. When you look for one, you don't see the other. So something to note is that it's actually natural for your brain to find red. Have you ever noticed that your brain's just kind of mean to you sometimes? It's just kind of mean. Well, Jim Rohn has a quote that says, stand guard at the gates of your mind or weeds grow automatically. What does that mean? That means unless you condition your mind to find blue, it will automatically find red. Automatically. Why? Because your brain isn't wired to make you happy. Your brain's primary job is to make sure you survive. It's a survival mechanism. So at any moment in time, it's looking what to protect you from, what could go wrong. This because millions of years ago, you weren't worried about sending an invite on Facebook or going live. You were worried about the saber-toothed tiger hiding in the bushes that was going to eat your baby. That's what you were worried about. We don't have the same threats, but we do have the same brain. So unless you recondition it with blue, you'll automatically find red. And by the way, this isn't just going to happen overnight. You have to train your brain to do it. So try this right now. Ask yourself, why am I not enough to build my business? Ugh. Doesn't taste very good, does it? But why am I not enough to build my business? Doesn't matter how many books you read. You still have that voice that says you're not enough. And I bet it leads to a lot of pain, a lot of procrastination sitting there. And even if someone tells you that you're enough, you don't believe it. So we need to switch this because the gap between where you are and where you want to be is simply if you're looking for red or looking for blue. So if you say, why aren't I enough to build my business? Try it again. Try it again. Ask yourself, why am I not enough to build my business? And notice that your brain looks for an answer. It looks. You might correct it, but it looks. Right? Even if you're successful. That's how insidious negative self-talk is. So your entire life can change by asking yourself more empowering questions. Your brain is a Google search engine. It will answer whatever you type into the search bar. So you have to learn exactly what questions to ask to get your brain to go in the right direction. Because you'll answer a question anyways. But if you don't type in something blue, what will your brain automatically do? Type in something red. And when you look for red, what do you never see? You never see blue, your dreams. So when you do this and you say, why am I not enough to build my business? Your brain literally looks for all the answers of why you're not capable. So you don't send invites. How many of you guys have ever done this? Instead, you refresh your online office to see if you magically hit 2-star today and magically hit successful today. How many of you guys have ever done that shit, right? You just refresh. Because, and what's crazy, by the way, is that there's blue everywhere. There's blue all around you. But because your software is running on red, you won't even notice it. You won't even notice the single mom standing behind you in the grocery store checkout line that has high cholesterol and has trouble with finances. Then you could literally change her whole life and save her life with Shakeology and this business. But you won't notice her. You'll keep her freedom trapped in your mouth because I don't know enough people. I don't know how to invite. You won't even see the blue. You'll only see red. You guys ever been in a grocery store? How many conversations have you started? Just saying, right? So if you want to shatter your limiting beliefs, you have to learn exactly what questions to ask, because here's where you might go wrong. This question, why is it so easy to no longer self-sabotage? Without advanced training, you might think that's empowering. It's not, because look a little closer. Why is it so easy to no longer self-sabotage? It's obsessed with self-sabotage. You're focused on red, even though it's reversing it, and wherever focus goes, energy flows. So you keep your mind obsessed with the negative. So not only do you need to change your questions, you need to make sure they're the right questions. Does that make sense? So to sum up step number 2, A, identify what your limiting beliefs are. B, link so much pain to them that you have to change them. And then C, properly redirect your focus with a question that leads you to the life that you want. You've got to learn how to do this, or your brain is going to keep you stuck. Type yes if you think you can use this in your life and your business. Anyone? Bueller? Bueller, awesome. Let's move on to step number 3. Close the gap. Really what I mean is getting out of your own damn way. And excuse my language, I'm just being real with you guys here, okay? This is one of the most powerful pieces of this training because it's going to give you awareness into why you're so stuck, and then later I'll show you how we can break through it. So write this down. Your problem isn't the problem. How you face your problem is the problem. Your problem isn't the problem. How you face your problem is the problem. What does that mean? When you're so emotionally attached to a goal coming true, you push the goal away from you. You might still hit it, but you won't be fulfilled. So don't take this to mean that you shouldn't be happy or excited or passionate about your goals. In fact, if you've ever not gotten your hopes up for a big goal, you're literally asking to not hit big goals. Because the only way to hit big goals is to get your hopes up. It's the only way. You have to. It's the only way to sustain the energy to create the goal. The only reason you don't want to get your hopes up is because your happiness is dependent on that goal coming true. Your worth is dependent on that goal. So you're making it harder to achieve. How many of you have ever found yourself, type yes if you've ever found yourself focusing on diamond or 2-star or 1-star or whatever it is, and it's all you kind of think about, but it's like the more and more you think about it, more and more months it evades you, right? And it's like, can't catch me, can't catch me, can't catch me, right? And it's like, can't catch up to that rank, right? It's because you are attached to the rank instead of committed to it. You're attached to it. You think it's somehow going to mean happiness. How many of you guys have ever achieved a goal and still not felt fulfilled? Anyone? That's because you're attached to goals, not committed to goals. And in fact, let me teach something right now. What's the biggest goal you've ever achieved in your entire life? For me, it's getting out of $92,000 of student debt in a year and 9 months. Biggest goal I ever achieved in my entire life. Amazing thing, right? Guess how long happiness lasted from that? 5 days. 5 days. Biggest goal of my whole freaking life. 5 days. Think about your life. What's the biggest goal of your life and how long did that happiness actually last? That is attachment, guys. When you think that way, when you're attached to a goal instead of committed, building a business always kind of sucks. It's constant frustration. It's overwhelm. It's self-sabotage, getting into a slump. And when you try to build a business this way, it's insurmountable. It's defeating. And you have no idea how to solve it, so you accept it as truth when it's not. If you want everything to change, your business, your marriage, your bank account, everything, you've got to understand the most important concept of this whole talk. You ready for it? Business, success, and money don't cause happiness. Happiness causes success. We talked about that already. Happiness and appreciation for the journey and the challenge, that's how you overcome the challenge. Most people don't get that. I didn't. It's why I stayed stuck. I thought I should be further along, should be at that income range, should be at that level. And I was shooting all over myself, right? I was missing the whole point because life's lessons will get louder and louder and louder until you listen. I was missing the point that until you learn to love where you are right now, you're not going to have the dreams that you want because appreciation is the master skill to business. And that includes the pain. Why do you think Shaun T, I'm a big Shaun T guy, always talks about in his fitness programs? If you want to lose weight, you have to love the body you have now. Why do you think he says that? Because your body right now is all you've got. It's your only vessel that's the key to your freedom, so why would you hate it? Your life right now is all you've got to change your life. So if that's your only vessel that's the key to your freedom, why would you hate it? Guys, seeing your current good is the fastest way to increase more good. Most people try to climb this big mountain of success saying, I'll be happy when I get to the top. Like, put your dream on top of a mountain. The problem with that is it's the same thing as trying to climb Everest with a blindfold on. Because if you need to get there now and you're attached and you can't be happy until you do, or you can't let off the brake or the gas until you do, and you have a blindfold on, you're going to step off the trail, you're going to trip, you're going to break an ankle, fall off a cliff and die. Even if you magically get to the top, you won't see any of the beauty around you. This is the elite coach that feels like they didn't do enough. This is the premier coach that feels like, shit, I got to do it again next year. This is hitting Success Club 10 and being stressed that you got to do it again next month. This is the mom that gets her to-do list done and is pissed off that she's got to make one again the next day. That's attachment. That's attachment. But what would happen if you started from a different state of mind and you became committed instead of attached? What if you took the blindfold off? By the way, how many of you guys have ever gone hiking anytime in your life? Hiking, anyone? Amazing. Do you blindfold yourself when you go hiking? No, you don't blindfold yourself. Do you step off the trail? Only for crazy, right? So what if hiking is the same way that success works? What if you become committed to the top, super pumped about it, and committed to loving the climb? Committed to appreciating the scenery, the downhill, the uphill, the legs burning, the detours, the wildlife, and when you get to the summit, you appreciate that too. When you do that and you follow the trail, it makes it way easier to get to. Because what if you make a decision today that instead of doing this for just the goal, you do it for the goal and the person you become, the lives you touch, the growth you experience. If your objective of doing your vital behaviors, if the reason you do it is personal growth and contribution, then even if that hill is going down, summit's over here, right? And you're going down away from that summit, meaning a coach quits, return order, drop in rank, missed success club, volumes lower. Even if that happens, if your objective is personal growth, guess what? You learn something instead of hate something. And when you learn something, you adopt a new lesson and you get to the top of that hill so much faster. Because if it was easy, you wouldn't appreciate it. It would become fulfilling along the way. You're just no longer attached. You're committed to it. In your business, you know that feeling of forcing things to work? Forcing your business to work, forcing the invites, forcing social media, forcing. It's gonna go away. And you'll feel alive again. And when you feel alive, guess what? Business gets so much easier because it's your energy people want. They don't care about the product. They want your energy. They want to be part of you. That's what they care about. There's a difference between push and pull motivation, guys. Push motivation is willpower, and it works, but it's temporary. It doesn't last. Because if you rely on willpower only, it leads to something called burnout. How many of you guys have ever felt burnout in your business? Anyone? That's what happens when you rely on willpower. But when you learn how to be committed, you find what's called pull motivation. That's where you don't have to work hard to work hard. That's where it's easy to work hard. That's where you just feel on fire every day. You're in that flow state, right? So that's what it's like. That's what commitment is like. It's beautiful. So let's do an exercise real quick. In your notebook, draw 2 circles next to each other. 2 big circles next to each other. And above the left circle, write the word attachment. And above the right circle, write the word commitment. And if you're in the state of attachment, and I want you to write this in the left circle when we get to it. If you're in the state of attachment, where you need your dreams to happen right now to be happy, and you can't be happy until you do, and you're like, oh, you leave the trail, you're death gripping success, I must get there, I must get there, I must get there. You're forcing it, right? Kind of burnt out, overwhelmed on a regular basis. Write in your left circle under attachment, what emotions do you feel on a regular basis? Just go on a journey and write whatever ones come to mind. Is it overwhelm? Is it frustration? Write them in the left circle under attachment. Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it procrastination? Scarcity, shame, struggle, boredom, disconnected, closed off, guarded? And make sure you're writing these down because this is important for what we're going to do in a minute. Okay? Is it judgment? What is it that you feel on a regular basis if you need the goal to happen right now and you're forcing it? What do you feel? Write anything else down in that left circle that you feel. And awesome, let's imagine for a second now that you learn the skills necessary to let go and be fulfilled no matter what happens. To genuinely love your body where it is now, to love your business where it is now, and to appreciate how you get there. You're committed to the climb and the peak, and you're enjoying life along the way. What emotions would you feel then? Write those in the right circle under commitment. If you learn how to live that way, what would you feel daily? Let me give you some examples. They're on my wall right here. Love, probably. Presence, vitality, appreciation, playfulness, passion, aliveness, celebration, intelligence, creativity, success, pride, fun, relaxation, relieved, happy, grateful, alive. I said a bunch of them twice, and the list goes on. Write them all in the right circle under commitment. Whatever you can think of. Now, I want you to be vulnerable with me. Type yes if you live in attachment on a semi-regular basis. Anyone live in attachment on a regular basis? Anyone? Just Diana? She's the only one that lives in attachment on a regular basis? No, I bet 99% of people on this call live in attachment on a regular basis. That's how most success-driven entrepreneurs are. But take a look at those 2 circles. Take a look at them. Which of those 2 circles are you going to be able to build a business from? Which of those 2 circles are you going to make more money from? Which of those 2 circles are you going to inspire people from, be a great parent from, be a great husband from? Commitment. So do you see the problem here? If commitment's the thing that's going to bring you your dreams, why are we fighting for attachment? Because you're going to be stuck if you stay there. You're going to feel so behind. You're going to feel like you're going through the motions, but you're in a constant haze, and all these other people are flying by you, achieving so much, you're going to feel like something's wrong with you. So close your eyes. Close your eyes. And just trust me on this. Open them when I tell you, but keep them closed. And take a couple really big deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Notice how your breath has already calmed your mind. And keep your eyes closed. And just go on a journey with me towards the end of your life. You're 80, 85, 90, 100 years old granny or grandpa status, right? And you're sitting on the front porch, sipping sweet tea, watching the great grandkids go by on their bikes. At the very end of your life, what do you want life to look like? What do you want to feel? What do you want to be? And keep your eyes closed. Imagine building the life of your dreams for a second. Picture yourself living it, serving all these people, building the income of your dreams, changing your family's future forever. And what does it feel like when you make it all the way there? And let that smile creep out a little bit. Feel that smile. Feel what it feels like to live that dream. Picture your kids, picture your spouse, picture the memories you could make, picture the life of total freedom you could have. What emotions are you going to experience? Is it peace? Is it gratitude? Feel it right now. Is it happiness? Is it freedom? Is it joy, relaxation? Probably the emotions you think success will bring, but you just felt them right now. And feel that. And when you're there, and try to triple the amount of intensity of gratitude you have for that right now. And feel and appreciate it and love it. And with your eyes remaining closed, in this beautiful state, imagine it getting ripped away from you. Don't open your eyes. Don't comfort yourself. Flash it all back until now. You never learn the skills you need to learn. You never resolve inner conflicts. You never shatter limiting beliefs. You never learn how to be happy along the way. You settle. And imagine the pain of settling for a second. What does it feel like to have your dream ripped away from you? Imagine what it feels like to disappoint your family, to disappoint your kids. What happens if you don't change? If you keep settling, if you keep playing small, keep your eyes closed, if you keep living in fear, what changes? Nothing. And imagine what it does to the relationships of those that you love the most. You're obsessed with this business, but it's not building the results you want. What does your spouse feel? They support you more or less? Or do they feel like you're wasting your time? Do you end up becoming roommates instead of in love? And feel the pain on the inside right now of letting them down, not contributing the way that you know you're meant to. And what about your family? How will your kids grow up? Will they believe that dreams are possible for them, or they settle just like mom and dad did? Will they live a life that's less than because you never made a choice to go after it, because you didn't step up? And imagine the feeling of shame on the inside right now that you have from continuing to spin your wheels, continuing to think something's wrong with you or it's different for you and it's easier for other people, continuing to never reach your true potential. What do you feel? And feel that pain on the inside right now. Do you slip into a depression? Do you live with anxiety? Do you find yourself 10 years from now miserable, living in excuses at a mediocre job, rationalizing that it's okay that you gave up on your dream? What are the consequences if you don't change? Do you realize what's at stake here? Keep your eyes closed. It's not just your business that won't work out, guys. It's your whole freaking life. It's your happiness. It's your passion for life. Your most meaningful relationships ruined. It'll fall apart if you never choose to go for it and you continue to live in whatever your version of mediocrity is. Open your eyes and type in the chat box, is that how you are willing to live from now on? Is that how you're willing to live? And if not, you're willing to step up and own your fucking future. Claim the life that you're meant to have. Get out of your own way. Resolve inner conflict. Shatter limiting beliefs. Enjoy the process. And if so, if you're willing to change this, own that and feel that that's yours. Don't ever let that get ripped away from you. You got to learn these skills. You have to. And if you don't, you just saw the consequences. One of the 3 skills we talked about today, that's your recipe to get unstuck. And you know the stress of what happens if you don't have it. So type in the chat box, which is it for you? Is it resolve inner conflicts? Is it shatter limiting beliefs? Or is it appreciate the journey? Which do you need to learn first? And maybe if you're where I was, it's all 3. But type in the chat box, which do you need to learn first? Because listen loud and clear, you have one chance at this life. One. And it's time to stop playing small. It's time to step up. It's time to figure this out, because you don't control the length of your life, but you do control its depth and its meaning. You are not put here to experience mediocrity. God wasn't drunk on the job. You're not meant to feel like crap. If you feel like crap on a regular basis, you're doing it wrong. You're meant to feel fully alive. And there's way too many consequences at stake if you don't figure this out. There's so much to gain if you master these 3 skills. That's what's next for you. So I'm not sure why you showed up. Maybe you're building a business, but you're not reaching the level of success you want. Maybe you're hustling, doing the PD and podcasts, but you're not having the freedom from money and money worries and anxiety and stress. And you want to be the best version of you so you can feel fully alive every day instead of free falling through negativity and guilt and all that stuff. Or maybe you just need a way to do this. But either way, this will transform everything, guys. It's not just your business, it's your whole life. Your marriage, bank account, stress level, relationship with your parents, kids, everything. To live this way, you have to take immediate action. Just like Tony Robbins said, never leave the sight of setting a goal without doing something towards its fulfillment. Because when you have an aha moment, a window opens up and you have to jump through that window. Remember what I did in the beginning. When I heard all these people saying, you got to invest in your growth before you're ready, I jumped in that window and my life radically changed. It's your turn. If there's one thing you can take away, this is crack the code on what holds business owners back. It's changed my life. thousands and thousands of my listeners' lives, hundreds of my students' lives, and it's super easy to do. But the question is, how do you do it? How do you do it when the opposite is all you've ever known? How do you do it when it feels like the weight of the world is on your back and you can't inch forward no matter how hard you try? 2 ways. Number 1, do the same thing you've been doing. And if you're being honest with yourself by nodding your head yes or no, is what you're doing truly working for the business and life you want? No. You can keep getting the same results over and over and over again, pushing, pounding on the door for success and getting denied, settling for less than you can really be. That's option 1, being blown back by disappointment, or option 2. You can follow a very, very simple system and make these changes happen right now. You can follow an action plan, a guide, a system. You can take what took me a decade to learn, shrink it into just a couple of months. And I'm sure which way I want you to go. But guys, how many of you guys realize yeah, this is what I need to master? Like Instagram stories and Facebook and live videos, all that stuff, that's a good strategy and it works. But how many of you guys feel like, okay, mindset, that's what I need to know. That's what I need to master. Okay, so do I have your permission to share what the next level of learning looks like for you? How many of you guys feel like if you learned how to do this, it would change everything for you? That, if it's okay with you, I'd love to share just for 10 minutes about what that looks like, and then we'll hop off here, okay? So at this point, let me pull up my slides here. At this point, it is my absolute privilege to introduce you to Appreciation Academy. Can you guys see my screen? You guys see my screen? Awesome. So what is Appreciation Academy? It's the step-by-step action-ready blueprint for becoming the best version of you so you can finally get unstuck and create the wealth and freedom that you want. You're already obsessed with the business. We got to put some rocket fuel on it and make it actually work so you free yourself of self-sabotage and limiting beliefs and that mean voice in your head. It's a success manual designed to help you be the best version of you so you can accomplish the scariest goals even if they seem unattainable right now. This is for serious entrepreneurs, people that want to change their whole life, and you have 24/7 instant access starting and lifetime access starting right now. This is for you if you are sick and tired of negative self-talk. You're sick of self-doubt. You want to be confident. You need that confidence in your life. You want clear-headed growth and success. You want to be able to love every day along the way, and you're sick of these limiting beliefs holding you back. This was created to help marketers and business owners who know they're destined for greatness if someone would just show them how to get out of their own way and do it. So here's what I'll teach you in the 3 phases of Appreciation Academy. In phase 1, evaluate your life and eliminate toxic habits. Just like T25 has alpha, beta, and gamma, same thing here. We have the foundation, right? This is the foundation for creating a fulfilling life. You're gonna learn how to resolve all the inner conflict holding you back. Everything we talked about in step 1 today. You're gonna learn how to not just let it go and forgive, but actually be so grateful it happened. You'll take 100% responsibility for your life and let go of all of that stuff, even if it's not your fault. You'll learn exactly what's been holding you back and instantly beat it so you can go after your scariest dream. You'll learn the skills you need to ditch poisonous habits and replace them with success-focused routines and mindsets of the world's greatest entrepreneurs, and finally, how to easily demolish any dream-destroying behaviors you have. All of that in bite-sized lessons over phase 1. It's amazing. And then finally, or second, we go to phase 2. Phase 2 is designing your ideal life, designing your dream life. In this phase, we do something we didn't even talk about today. We're talking about how to be successful. That's what we're going to talk about. You shift gears and you get radically clear about the life you want to create. When's the best time to enter the woods? When you have a map. So you're going to learn how to gain clarity on what you want most out of life and craft a specific plan custom to you to get there without letting fear and overwhelm and doubt and procrastination stop you anymore. You'll learn how to maximize the business you're in, even if you haven't been able to grow it for years. You'll learn a practical 5-step process to end procrastination forever. And I mean forever. If you apply this, you will never procrastinate again. You will learn the single fastest, most effective way to set goals and actually achieve them, regardless of how much time you have at the end of your day. And finally, how to increase your weekly productivity by over 30% guaranteed, and so much more, guys. So much more. And again, in bite-sized lessons for even the busiest person. Then finally, in phase 3, close the gap. This is about shattering those limiting beliefs and living in a state of commitment so you're not so attached to the dreams. This is the breakthrough phase about how to let go of all that attachment. And literally what we're going to do is rewire the supercomputer of your brain so you can create the legacy you're proud of. You're going to learn a 5-step process to literally choose your emotions. So even if something's negative, you can turn it into an incredible opportunity and those emotions dissipate. You're going to learn how to be grateful for where you are in your life right now, even if it's not the life you want yet. And this is the key to creating the life you want. You'll learn how to create your life by design by shattering limiting beliefs. I have an entire hour-long workshop in here about how to identify exactly what your limiting beliefs are. And we take you through this process of linking so much pain to them, and then how to find the right question to put the new record on that record player. Step by step, exactly how to do it. You're gonna learn how to easily erase the fear of judgment and how to be unapologetically you. So you can wear your pain on your sleeve and be like, hey, I've been through some stuff. If you have, let's do this together. Your shame about life will go down because you'll be totally yourself. You won't feel this fear of inviting and posting. You'll be you. You'll learn the reasons why you might be sabotaging and how to stop it. And you'll learn how to attract success instead of force it. So you no longer have to rely on push motivation. You rely on pull motivation from living in that constant state of commitment instead of attachment. But most importantly, my promise with this program is that when you complete it, you will finally believe that you're worthy of an amazing life. So you're gonna get the Complete Appreciation Academy system, easily a value of $10,000, saving you years, thousands of dollars off your learning curve so you can have results way faster than I ever did. And as part of this package, because you spent an hour of your time with me tonight, and I know that if you're still here, you're interested in what this is, I'm including an insane amount of bonuses that I do not offer the public. You cannot find these on my website. They're only available for you guys, Beachbody coaches, along the way. You're also gonna get my Mindset First Aid Kit. When you feel any negative emotion, it tells you exactly what to do specifically based on the emotion. So anxiety, depression, overwhelm, whatever it is, doesn't last all day. It goes away in seconds. A value of $99, yours included for free. You're also gonna be able to take this on the go. So even if you're taking your kid to soccer practice or on the way to work, you have the audio version to listen in the car and customization worksheets and resources for you to customize this experience to your specific life. It's not theory, it's all about you getting the results in your life. That's a value of $594, yours included for free. And this is where the magic turns up. You're also gonna get my Have Fun with Sales bundle. Guys, I was a Beachbody coach for 5 years. I love everything about it. This is my way of giving back. It led me to my dream. I built a 6-figure business doing it. I'm gonna teach you what generated over $100,000 in challenge pack sales. I'll teach you exactly what to do in the likability factor, how to gain people's trust, even if you've never met them. How to, in Selling Ice to an Eskimo, how to eliminate 99% of sales objections before they ever happen. And you're also going to learn how to fall in love with sales. Listen, if you are in business, which all of you are, if you don't love sales, you will not be successful in business. So I will teach you how to love them, even if you hate reaching out to people. A value of $498, yours included for free. You're also gonna get my love and intimacy and spousal support training. You're gonna learn how to reignite the spark in your relationship so it's like you were when you were in the beginning, guys. By the way, if you treat your partner like you did in the beginning, there will never be an end. I will teach you how to get that back. So you're no longer roommates, you're deeply, deeply passionate in love. And on top of that, another training on how to consistently get support from your spouse in your entrepreneurial endeavors. So imagine you saying, honey, I wanna go to Summit, and them saying, okay, you need to go for it. That's a value of $298, yours included for free. You're also going to get my Time Mastery program. This program, I guarantee, 100% guarantee that you find a minimum of 20 more hours in your week that you didn't know existed. So even the busiest person can crush this business, a value of $199, yours included for free. You're also gonna get our private Facebook support community, which is insane. There's so much participation in this group, it's ridiculous. People in the weeds with you. Imagine the most successful challenge group in the world on steroids. And by the way, 98% of them are Beachbody coaches, so they get you. And by the way, you're never gonna be alone. I am in there with you every day. I've been in courses where I get dumped in a group and the instructor disappears. They disappear. I answer every post. Not an assistant, it's me. You get my feedback on everything you're going through. A value of $997, yours included for free. And finally, you get weekly office hours. I will personally go live. This is free life coaching. Whether it's in regards to your business, whether it's in regards to what you learned in Appreciation Academy, or anything else that's going on in your life, you have a Google form you can fill out. You can keep it anonymous if you want to maintain privacy. And every week, I give you coaching on that exact topic. This is priceless. It's saved marriages. It's helped people with suicidal thoughts. It's helped multiple people build multiple 6-figure businesses. Just want to read one testimonial, then I'll show you how to claim this. From my client, Rochelle, who is also a Beachbody coach. She said, while I intended for change in just my business, this has impacted all parts of my life because the way we think about everything impacts all the actions we take in all aspects of our life. I'm getting an amazing tool set that I apply daily. When I'm stuck or unsure, I have my Mindset family and a tight-knit Facebook group. Other members have become close friends and true supporters who get it. Brett always provides so much support and all his personal feedback in office hours. I change the way I think about myself. I celebrate my wins. I catch myself before I find myself struggling. The most important to me of all, though, is I've been glowing with happiness and shining as a growing leader, and my teammates see it. I hit business goals that I hadn't hit for 7+ months, all because my mindset and energy changed. I truly found my purpose, what sets my soul on fire to show up for others and myself. I feel so much more confident knowing I have access to this for life, and I can only keep going up. So here's what I'm offering you today, my friend, to radically change your entire life, save you years of pain and suffering, going through anxiety over and over again just to feel totally obsessed with your business while being totally burnt out, not having the results you deserve. Now, there's no way I'm gonna charge you over $12,000 for this. But if I did charge you 12 grand for this, and all it did was show you how to build a 6-figure business and taught you how to resolve all your inner conflict and shatter every limiting belief you have and taught you how to finally have fun along the way, would that be worth it? Guys, this is why my one-on-one clients pay 5 figures a year to work towards a specific similar result, because it's not a cost. It's an investment in your future. Instead of going to Target and buying a t-shirt, you're investing in a Roth IRA that will pay it back tenfold. You heard my story in the beginning about how I had to invest when I wasn't ready to invest. You've already seen how it's worth this much. That's not what you're gonna be paying today. It's not gonna cost 12 grand. What even cost you half of that at $6,000? I'm not even gonna charge what I charge the regular public at $1997. This entire system is 50% off at $997. But I know it was just the holidays and I know that you want this growth, which is why I'm giving you guys a payment plan option, and you can literally claim all of this lifetime access and get started today for 97 bucks. Literally 97 bucks, your entire life is radically changed. Your business is unstuck. You get the wealth and freedom, happiness you deserve. And get this, you try it for 90 days risk-free. Meaning, if you go through this course, do the work, complete the worksheets, and it doesn't change your whole life, I will gladly give you your money back, no questions asked, let you keep the product, and send you a $20 Amazon gift card so you can buy the book of your choice. That's how confident I am in this. Tony Robbins says, guys, it's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. How much longer are you going to wait to take a leap of faith on yourself, to invest in your growth, to stop praying life and business changes, to learn from someone who's done it? Lean into your heart. Do something uncomfortable that creates a totally new direction in your life, because choice 1 is to do nothing. And if you do nothing with what we talked about today, you'll feel stuck because you'll know what to do, but you won't know how to do it. Or you can take a leap of faith. Test out for 90 days. Watch it work for you. So if you're ready to do that, all you have to do is head to bradbizjack.com/webinar right now. Claim the system and that 90-day guarantee for $97. But one more last thing before we hop off here. Remember what I talked about at the beginning about that deep dive training about shattering stress, overwhelm, perfection, procrastination, and rejection? All of that, if you enroll by midnight Eastern time tonight, this is only for my fast action takers that are like, yes, this is it, this is what I need. If you enroll by midnight Eastern time tonight, this bonus is going to be included as well, a value of $199, yours included for free. So head to bradbizjack.com/webinar. Get started today. I want to read one last testimonial from Jen Richardson, 15-star Diamond Coach, Million Club member. She says, and I quote, "Appreciation Academy is the missing link that every Beachbody coach needs to finally see success in their business." Micah Folsom, double 15-star, says, and I quote, "If you're doing all the things but you're not successful, or if you're successful but you're just not happy, you absolutely need this program." It's endorsed by all the top leaders in your business. You name it, they have endorsed it. I don't share that to impress you, to impress upon you. It is a game changer. Take advantage of the 90-day guarantee, guys. This will change your whole life. Head to bradbizjack.com/webinar. Get started right now. And thank you guys so much for having me today. It's a privilege to serve you. And Michelle, I will turn it back to you. Oops, I just muted you.
Okay, thank you so much. I took pages and pages of notes, so many good things. But yeah, we talk about this as a business coming from the coach standpoint, looking at our challengers. How much do we want them to invest in themselves, right? Investing in that fitness, the nutrition, the support, personal development, like the whole package. And that's why when we think about this business, yeah, we can't just think of just the inviting and, you know, those vital behaviors. There's a reason why personal development is part of that vital behavior. And that's the difference maker in this business, I promise you. But I had to mention this. So you talked about affirmations not working, and we all have, a lot of us have these bar blend affirmation cards. And this one happens to be sitting on my desk. It's not leaving. I am limitless. I remove my self-inflicted boundaries to reach my fullest potential. So talk about shattering our limiting beliefs. That's what I'm all about this year. Yes, I'm gonna have to like scream, I am limitless, and to really get that emotional intensity involved. All right, thank you so much. We appreciate you, Brad. Have a great night, guys.